Welcome back, boils and ghouls. I see you're still with us. Our monster movie Horror-THON continues on BCTV, if you dare to watch. And now, here are your hosts once again, Jocelyn Nelson and Carlo Guadagnino.
Brought to you by Papa John's Pizza, located on Mertland Avenue in Washington, PA. And as you can see, my co-host here, Carlo, is eating a piece of Papa John's right now. How's that tasting, Carlo? That good, huh?
Yep.
Okay, well, we're actually going to show you a few of those security stills again. So we're going to cut real quick and see what's going on in Old Main with those security cameras.
Where's that?
I think that's looking down the stairwells, it looks like a little
Kirkpatrick Stairs, huh?
There we go. Got a bit of hallways in there. You see anything in the corner there?
There's something back in the back there. We'll ask the medium when she comes on.
Yeah, we'll have to give her a chat.
Academic parlor, that's that gold. Maybe the
go.
ghost are attracted to the gold.
Some of these places I didn't even know really existed in Old Main. We got some cool angles here from these security cams.
I got a question. How can there be a rear entrance to a straight building?
Yeah, that's a good question. We might have to check it out, look around a little bit. Ooh, science labs. That's gotta have something in it. We got a nice outside shot there.
Old man.
Well, those are some pretty cool shots we've got going on. Definitely a lot to look at, lots to keep an eye on, see if we can catch anything.
Oh, that's right behind us. I think, if that's wing B.
I believe so. We might have to flip over to check that out right now off of our camera 3.
What's down there? What's down there, camera 3?
Yeah, let's see if we can get a flashlight back there. You see anything?
Yeah, I see a bright white light. What's that?
That's probably going out over to commencement.
Huh.
Alrighty. Well, as you can tell, we have relocated to inside Old Main.
A little bit warmer in here. And
yeah, it's definitely nicer in here. Got a nice place to sit down, get to chill with some pumpkins.
What up, pumpkins?
Do you carve pumpkins often? Do you
Absolutely
get that much?
not. I take the carvings of the pumpkins and make them. See, that's live TV,
Alrighty
folks.
then.
That's what happens. You know, you put things in places, hope they stay, and sometimes they don't.
Hey, you don't know. Might have been wind, might not have
I feel like we got a ghost. Where's the medium? Where's the medium at? Is there a ghost behind me?
been. We'll have to get back to her a little bit in our next segment and talk to her. So, Carlo, why don't you go ahead and read us our next trivia question?
Well, we're back to trivia here. What are the call letters of the radio station Johnny Depp is listening to in his classic death scene in Nightmare on Elm Street?
And if you think you got the right answer for that, well, your movie prize is going to be the Class and Appropriate Award-winning Tim Burton film Sleepy Hollow.
Solid movie. Johnny Depp shows his depth of acting in that movie.
Yep, it is a comedy satire and a salute to the movie Paranormal Activity. This one called A House on Haunted Hill by Wayne Brothers.
No, a haunted house.
Eh.
We're watching A House on Haunted Hill.
I know, I'm sorry. There's a lot of haunting going on. You can't blame me for getting a few confused.
All I'm saying is the Wayne Brothers was a good show.
And if you think you have the right answer to that, drop us an email at bctvhorror-thon@yahoo.com. That's bctvhorror-thon@yahoo.com.
Where do you-hoo at?
There is no Yoo-hoo here, only Yahoo. The 13th email with the correct answer will be the one that wins this prize. Carla, why don't you go ahead and read that question one more time for our viewers at home so they can look up the answers.
What are the call letters on the radio station Johnny Depp is listening to in his classic death scene in Nightmare on Elm Street?
And since we're doing this by the movie, your emails will be time-stamped and you cannot submit an answer to this question after House on Haunted Hill. So make sure to get those answers in quickly, folks.
What's a timestamp?
It means it tells us when you've sent that email so that we know and we can tell who our 13th email was.
That might be why I've been here so long. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't understand deadlines and times. I never knew that the emails had timestamps on them.
Well, if you want to win a movie, you better pay attention.
Oh, well, I don't think I got the last answer right anyways.
Speaking of movies, now that House on Haunted Hill has all of its guests prone and ready to go, let's see what happens to them.
ghouls, and welcome to our 10-hour monster movie horror-thon, presented by BCTV on the Bethany Broadcasting Network, where our intrepid band of ghost hunters will attempt to prove at long last if Old Main on the campus of Bethany College is indeed haunted. And now, here are your hosts, Jocelyn Nelson and Carlo Guadagnino.
This segment of our program is going to be brought to you by Domino's Pizza, located in West Liberty, West Virginia. You got 30 minutes. So we're still talking about tonight how around midnight we're going to be sending Taylor Furco up into the tower here in Old Main to see whether or not it's haunted. So while we're thinking about that, why don't we look a little bit at our security footage from our security cams?
Well, there's one of our security cams there. Looks very nice in the corner.
Yep, real
There's another one. They look really good. Look at them. They're just beautiful. Oh, there we go.
Got
East
some
Wing
stairwells.
Stairway. The academic parlor boardroom.
And we got a lot of creepy photos in there from older members of Bethany, so.
Academic parlor. That's probably where the gold is right there.
I'm sure they got a lot stashed around here that's kind of fun.
Oh, is that the bird room?
That's the bird hallway. That's the
I'm
hallway.
gonna look this way. I don't like birds.
I'm waiting to see some ghost eagle flying around in there.
Yeah, this jack-o'-lantern just tried to bite my arm.
Well, as long as we're talking about haunting in Old Main, I think we're getting about ready to bring out our medium here and have a little chat with her again.
I want to know if this jack-o'-lantern here is haunted because it just tried to bite my arm. On the realist. Come on out.
Okay, we're going to bring Angela on set now.
Always.
Angela, why don't you stand right there? Okay, Angela, so you mentioned on your initial walkthrough you felt a few things. Where did you feel them here in Old Main?
So far, the main place I've gotten to see feel them would be, I can't remember
Commencement
the name.
Hall,
Commencement
right
Hall.
I
Yeah,
knew.
Commencement Hall, which is actually right behind us. And there's quite a few places in that room. It's really warm in there, and you just walk through and feel cold spots. It's...
Oh, that's really freaky. Is that kind of, I know they've said you kind of feel a chill if something passes through you. Do you kind of subscribe to that belief?
Can I call a timeout real quick? You said it's warm in there, but you go through and it's cold? I don't know if we can go in there then. Like, I mean, I know in the next segment I said I was going to take you through commencement. We were going to take the camera. Cam, you might be doing this interview on your own, bro. I don't do ghosts. Like, that's definitely in my contract. It says it. It's in bold print.
But yes, there are cold spots in the room, which cold spots, yes, they do mean ghosts.
Now, what about this jack-o'-lantern behind you? Because it tried to bite me before you came on set. Is there something in there?
No,
All right.
definitely.
I think the cold night air is going to Carlo's head a little bit here.
I just don't trust this jack-o'-lantern. It's like staring at me.
And I'm impressed by you in short sleeves right now. You look really pretty, but you got to be freezing over here.
I'm wearing a jacket between cuts, so...
Very smart, very smart. Well, we'll be getting back to you a little bit later when you hopefully take a walk with Carlo. I don't know if he'll be much of a bodyguard for you, if you actually manage to catch anything, but we'll be sending him with you on a little walk.
I might be protecting him.
Well, as long as we're talking about haunting and ghost stories, let's get back to a few more ghost stories from right here on Bethany campus with Tyler Castle and Kelly Ferralla.
Communication major. I'm actually producer of the show, but I have had some spooky things happen to me, especially filming stuff around this area, especially in Old Main. Me and a bunch of buddies were in a J-term class called The History of Movies or something like that with one of the psychology professors. And he required us to make a 20-minute video. Whatever we wanted, we could do whatever we wanted just to make it fun for us. You know, it was J-term class. He didn't want us going out and doing stupid stuff.
Basically, our movie was to do a parody, and my parody was Ghost Adventures. So we immediately thought, okay, let's go into Old Main, let's just make our own noises, let's make our own paranormal activity, and just record it and improvise our own reactions.
We went up to the stairs in where the academic parlor is, and all of a sudden you just hear one of my buddies start screaming like, "What the heck was that?" So we didn't think anything of it. We went and filmed the rest of the stuff up there.
So as we're going up to academic parlor, I believe, we're being really rowdy the entire time. Like, we're making fun of the ghosts that actually are there. So I'm guessing we may have stirred up some emotions that may have been there for a while. So as I'm going up the steps, I'm just holding the camera, looking around. We have the night vision on, and I randomly decided just to point the camera at the window, and then the most ironic thing happens. While I'm making a parody of Ghost Adventures, I catch this very ghostly hand going like this at me in front of the camera. And even as I'm recording it, I say, holy, was that a hand?
The hand, you can see the whole hand. And we were walking upstairs, just walking upstairs. He was a little bit ahead of us. And we were just standing right under the stairs when this happened. And they just like, oh, what the heck was that? You know what I'm saying? We didn't think anything of it. We thought maybe it was just spooked out or something, you know.
And then I just disregard it in my mind and just continue making the movie.
Once we added the footage, we're like, what is that? My friend ended up catching a ghost with his hand like this behind his back. And all of a sudden you could just see right in front of him like a dress shirt, as in like a dress. It looked like kind of like a Civil War jacket, kind of, with like buttons on it. It was creepy. You had a guy's hand like right next to his face.
We actually did see like an outline of a coat and then the extension of the arm a little bit. And hopefully you find the actual footage and you can try to incorporate it into the story and everybody could see where I was coming from.
So we're like, there has to be an explanation to this. So we go to Joseph Dumas, who is the big guy for the TV producing last year. And he's like, it could have been his hand because his hand was on the camera. So it could have been a reflection from his hand. The hand was like this, literally like this. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna show the psychology professor, see what he has to say. He couldn't figure out what the heck that was. So to this day, we still don't know what's going on with that story.
Then it wasn't until after we were done with the recording and everything and looked back at all the footage, I said, holy crap, I actually caught a real ghost during our movie. And I didn't feel in danger at all or anything, but it was just really cool to see that.
It was creepy to find that in the footage and us just happened to catch it as soon as it came up.
I believed in ghosts before, and I thought it was cool that Bethany has their own legends and everything, and I actually finally experienced something.
Okay, and now for more information on our movie about House on Haunted Hill and what's going on with that, we're going to pitch it over to our movie critic here, our movie specialist, Bree Steek.
Hi, Bree.
So what's going on here, Bree?
I've yet to see the movie myself, but I have done my research, so fair warning, it's okay. The house actually used for the exterior shots of the film was designed by Frank Lloyd Wright. It was built in the 1920s and is now listed in the National Register of Historic Places, so you can actually go visit it on your weekends or whenever you feel like it. The film was shot in only 2 weeks, about 6 months prior to its release. Vincent Price was cast as the lead and was a hot commodity in the 1950s, particularly in monster movies and assorted horror films. He was known as a practical joker on set and kidded his director about the possibility of a real skeleton coming out of the screen toward an audience. Predominantly 3D movies were coming out at that rate at that time too. Director William Castle, not Tyler Castle, our cameraman, always a king of gimmicks, used the emergo effect in theaters to make a skeleton float over the heads of the audience and scene where the skeleton comes out of a vat of acid, following in the footsteps of Vincent Price's suggestion. Price became a puppeteer by trade. Julie Mitchum played Ruth Bridges in the movie, and this would be the last production she would appear in. Before that, she was in 5 films of her own. A remake was done in 1999 and launched the career of several of Hollywood's biggest and brightest stars, including Famke Johnson, Ali Lauder, Tay Gibbs, Chris Catton, Lisa Loeb, and of course, the Vincent Price lookalike Jeffrey Rush, who went on to smash stardom as Captain Barbossa in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Just an example of the power of the original film, one of the first to use the theme where, quote, everyone gathered inside a house and who will survive, unquote, methodology. So I don't know about you guys, Carlo and Jocelyn, but I'm pretty excited for this movie. What about you?
excited to see what's going on with this. I've actually seen this movie before. The first time I saw it was right here on Bethany campus. I think I was just watching that older movie channel that we have because I like watching the acting on it. It's really special, so it was really cool. I'm excited about it.
You're an old movie buff, aren't you?
I kind of am. I enjoy the older movies. I like that style of acting and that theme, so I like it a lot. And we're going to throw it back to the movie now, as we've just seen all of the people are finally locked in the house, so they have no way out, and we're going to see what happens to them and who survives the night.